The church is stronger here in many ways than it is in Canada, although economically we're poor. But in terms of numbers and lay participation and talents and enthusiasm and the spiritual disciplines of people, very strong in many ways.
The Presbyterian Church in Canada's partnership with the Church in Malawi has deep and exciting roots. From early missionaries who were sent to fight the slave trade, it has grown into a strong church that is addressing spiritual and social issues in this narrow, landlocked country of 12 million people in southern Africa.
In 1875, Church of Scotland sent missionaries here to introduce Christianity as a way of combating slave trade.
The wealth extracted from Malawi during the colonial period was largely cash crops like tea, tobacco, and cotton. The country's dependence on agriculture continues today, with 80% of the population involved in farming, most depending on what they grow to feed and support their families. With declining soil fertility, changing weather patterns, and few other employment options, life is challenging for most of Malawi's population. 45% live below the poverty line, and nearly half of that don't have enough food to eat.
We're in a crisis. We're 85% agriculturally dependent, and yet the land's getting tired, inputs, we're using hybrid seeds and imported fertilizer, expensive. They were told to quit growing food and grow cash crops to pay off their debt, with the result now that we have a food deficit. I mean, we had a couple of good years, but basically we have a food deficit.
The Church of Central Africa Presbyterian has grown to be the largest denomination in Malawi. The Presbyterian Church in Canada has been partnering with this church for more than 30 years, working together on programs that address both spiritual and physical needs.
We really enjoy this partnership because we have been partners for quite a long time. And look at the programs that are done at Neno. We have Girls Secondary School, which was, which is really financed by the friends in Canada. BSDC as well. We have, Glenn English, who is our, executive director, who is from Canada, and so many other friends who come and go from Canada.
Your gifts to Presbyterian Sharing have sent many mission staff to Malawi over the years. International Ministries recently sent Glenn and Linda Inglis to Malawi for their third term to accompany the church in its mission and outreach work.
It seems that when we're asked to come back, if there's a chance, we say yes quickly.
We got a phone call about a changing situation in Malawi concerning what was then the project's office being morphed into the Blantyre Synod Development Commission. So they're wondering, because we knew the church and because we knew the donors and we were trusted here, if we would come back and steer this ship for maybe 2 to 3 years. And if we could stabilize and help it grow again, then I'd like to leave with a really talented Malawian in charge, a Malawian organization. Okay? See ya.
Your gifts to Presbyterian Sharing also help the Malawian Church grow by training pastors and lay leaders at Zomba Theological College and through the Theological Education by Extension program, which takes theological education to remote communities.
The church in Malawi is growing and very fast. And we need lots and lots of pastors to go out and preach the gospel.
The Shigodi Women's Center equips women to be effective leaders in their community.
In our country, women are really the backbone of development. For them to make decisions, they need to be leaders. So leadership development is part of the courses here. The Economic Empowerment Program where our women need to be at least independent. They need to support their families as a woman. Nowadays, since last year, we have this program. We just introduced the gender-based violence, where it is rampant in women and children in Malawi now.
Presbyterian Sharing also provides scholarships to help talented church music and worship leaders and gifted theologians attend further post-secondary education.
Oh, it helped me so much, and it's still helping me, because I'm capable to do my job. I know what to do when it comes to my work.
Special gifts from Presbyterian churches in Canada are also helping churches build and expand their infrastructure. The congregation in Bandawe built the foundation and walls of their new Thepura church, and Canadians put on the steel roof. The Presbyterian Church in Canada's partnership in Malawi is also supported by Presbyterian World Service and Development. In times of disaster, PWS&D helps the Malawian Church distribute emergency relief.
The mission of the church is to proclaim the gospel and to look after the whole person, physically as well as mentally, spiritually. So we don't only concentrate on spiritual areas, but the whole person, so that he can be or she can be properly looked after.
PWS&D's community development projects work to combat the poverty that is all too prevalent.
The country has about 12 million people, desperately poor, one of the poorest countries in the world. And charity just doesn't meet the need. It fills gaps, it helps, obviously, but there has to be a real concerted effort to develop. And the church, because not just ours, but the church penetrates pretty well every village and town in Malawi. And so in terms of accessibility and credibility, the church is way ahead of any other civil society organization.
Presbyterian World Service and Development's sustainable agriculture programs help improve crop productivity and reintroduce traditional crops like pigeon peas, peanuts, soybeans, and sorghum to improve nutrition. Clean water programs work with communities to install wells, and sanitation programs provide latrines and teach about hygiene.
Then if you can open it, there's nothing else at all, and no smelling.
Small animal breeding programs and beekeeping projects are helping subsistence farmers increase and diversify their incomes.
This is a standard beehive, and it can give us up to 40 kilograms of honey if the bees have put their honey very well.
Education programs are helping vulnerable children start and stay in school. PWS&D is also supporting community health projects and helping communities cope with the devastating impact of the AIDS pandemic.
The people in the West have got to see that they're not observing Africa, that it's not objective to them. It's part of our combined life in this planet. And Canadians have to look critically at their own life and what the resources they use and the stewardship of their own resources in order to be able to be in conversation with Malawians. Because it's no longer those people helping. We're in this together, deeply in this together.
You can be part of mission and ministry in Malawi by supporting Presbyterian Sharing and Presbyterian World Service and Development.
I have witnessed a lot of good things taking place. From our side here, the Presbyterian Church in Canada has been very helpful in supporting our programs. So we are very, very thankful on this. And I'm looking forward to having this partnership grow from strength to strength.